Try this again. If I'm gonna crash the entire thing again. So when I move the phone, portrait, landscape. Okay, don't show my phone. There's no reason for this to crash again. Hopefully, we're now in session. Can this be stable for now? Is it gonna have issues again? When I was showing my phone and playing around with it, it crashes the OBS studio, which means the entire screen crashes. And there's no real reason for any of that. Let me take this down a bit without it being in the frame. Being in the frame. Don't be in the frame, don't be in the frame. I see dropped frames and stuff. Okay. So now we're stable. Just don't show the screen of the phone. Okay, but this is what I wanted to show, so what's the point? Let's try this again. Try this again. Try not to crash the stream. Not to crash the stream. Try 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 not to crash the stream. La 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 la. Maybe if I'm showing this over here, it would be better. Instead of the dedicated screen. Okay. Well, in a way, it's better for me. Okay. So, no, the stream doesn't crash when I play with my phone. Okay. So, what we actually wanted to do, move away, go back, we were just reviewing our task, where they are, and what bugs we should open. So we have, this is older, that doesn't. Probably need to configure Trello. Probably need to configure Trello, so when I mark a task as done, it's actually moved to done. Probably not an on-stream thing. So we have our CLI scripts. The thing we actually marked down earlier on the stream, before the stream crashed, is that maybe I should just bring everything back so we can go over stuff. Let's reverse so we can re-record. It's kind of fun. So let's call it start from here. At least for the recording and for the editing, let's pretend we started here. So images, where are they saved to? The app should have its own folder. This is a badly described ticket, but basically when we, let's show. So in the app we have the middle button that should, they call it the FAB button, which just takes a picture. We wanted it to actually take a picture. See, it says now that it's saved, and my verification is actually going to Google Photos and seeing this new picture here. And if we look at the details, Oh, we actually get the camera details, which is kind of nice. And you can see on the storage, on device, storage emulated 0 pictures, ghost photo dash native. This is currently our app name, and this is the device folder. So this is done. We can call this task done. It works properly. Oh, we're done. So wireframe component. We have the wireframe. We have the demo in showcase. If we'll focus on the showcase here, you can see that we have wireframe around these images, which looks pretty good. We also have it working on the application, or should I say partially working, because it has bugs. But if we look at the application, we get into the app. Let's do widescreen, and when I point it to the keyboard, you can see we have the wireframe edge detection. But you can immediately see one of the bugs. So bug number 1, this doesn't render on top of the keyboard. It renders somewhere else. So there's an offset between where the edge detection is rendering and where the image is. So this is bug number 1, and we're opening a ticket for it, and we'll probably start working on it. So let's say the wireframe component by itself is working. That's not a problem. We open the rest as kind of like a bug ticket. So edge detection. So edge detection looks good on showcase, but not on the phone. Is on the phone, it's offset and not located on the real image properly. It seems offset in both axes. So that's our kind of bug description that will work off, and we're gonna give it. We're gonna work on it today, hopefully. Our plan is to work on this as one of the tasks for today. Okay. Different bug that you might have seen when I flip the phone. Portrait mode, there's no edge detection. Nothing is happening. It's just a normal phone. So, edge detection not working on landscape mode. Landscape is working on landscape mode, but not on portrait mode. Portrait? I don't know how to pronounce it. So we have the info overlay component, which we can look in showcase. If we go back here and we go back, you can see the overlay component, and we have several test cases for it. So we have the basic info if there's no previous information. Basically, this overlay component is a helper for us to realign both features, the overlay and the edge detection, are features for us to align what we currently see in the camera to a previous photo. So this would be used for long time lapses where you want to come back to a location and take another picture that continues the time lapse. One of my plans is for me in the garden to be able to take pictures of the first plant or pot, second pot, third pot, with their different flowers or fruit or just progress of the plant, and just align them and do it daily or maybe multiple times a day, but create a long time lapse in parallel for each of them. So what I want to be able to do is go and realign the current camera to my previous images. So we have 2 utilities we're building that help that. One is a simple information overlay that gives us the phone properties, yawn, roll, and what's the name? This is tiny for me. Yaw, something. I need to fix that. Maybe I can actually just look at it. Okay. So we have your pitch and roll. And the zoom assumes we don't remember. We should actually automatically recover it, but if you want to change it, you should be able to. So the time lapse doesn't have to be perfectly the same forced on you. You can change. If you want to do a time lapse where we have some kind of progression, you either move the camera or you zoom in or do anything else. We should support you. You should be able to do that. You should just have the information presented to you and helping you to align it to the previous one, because you want to move it relative to the previous one. So besides your pitch, roll, and zoom, if we are given the location permission, GPS allow us to get precise location. We should render also the latitude, longitude, and also compare them. So this is the basic. If there's no previous image, this is the first image in the sequence. They're going to look like one of the first two examples. One is without the location permission, and the second is with the location permission. If this should maybe be reversed a bit in order, depending on how you're in. The third image shows us how the component would look if there is a mismatch between either of all of those properties. We're going to render them in yellow so you'd know you are not aligned. And if you're perfectly aligned, we present it in a dark green as like, you're good. So what I imagine happening is you take the camera and you look at you have your previous one, and then you're starting to adjust your camera by each one of those parameters to get to your last one. So if you're exactly where you should be, you're getting the dark green. The last one is brighter green, which shows us you're not exactly there, but you're within some kind of, you're within tolerance that we decide on. The tolerance might change a bit by parameters. The tolerance for zoom is almost 0. The tolerance for location, longitude and latitude, depend on your current GPS best estimate. So if you ever use the GPS and looked at the advanced information, sometimes it tells you you're within 50 meters accuracy. And then it finds more satellites and it goes, you're within 13-meter accuracy. Then it goes down further until whatever specification allows the phone. Sometimes it will say within 3 meters. I'm not sure if there is within 1 meter, but I don't think we currently have anything lower. If you had like a commercial military grade, you might get like 30 centimeters, which is excellent. Maybe some extra technology. There is like Bluetooth beacons that can be set, and then you can get to that range of 30 centimeters, I believe. But that's extra hardware you should set up and configure, and like you should have different physical Bluetooth beacons in the location you wanna have that level of accuracy. And it's bigger phones, you need those beacons, you need to configure them properly and have them broadcasting and powered on, etc. Interesting technology for me. I don't think it's practical for this. It might be relevant. What they want to do it is locations like in malls or probably like warehouses and stuff. You have someone actually willing to pay for that because it increases efficiency somehow. That's their ROI. So we were just explaining all these situations. So we have the info overlay component pretty much done as its own thing. So let's call that done. Can I remove this part? I don't want you to always tell me I can. add another list. I say no more lists. Just put it in the settings and leave me alone. Collapse all list. What does that mean? Ah, that's weird. Well, maybe. Can I just keep these two? Is that option always there? Don't really like it. Make template activity, watch, collapse, copy board, email to board. No, let's leave it. Okay. There is something else about that info overlay. So when I look at my phone like that, the zoom is all over the info overlay. So the info overlay, should call it like a location overlay. I don't know, let's keep it as info overlay for now, just to have a common name. So it's not as bad in landscape mode, but pretty much we want it to be on its own thing. So let's make another card and call it info overlay renders on top of the zoom overlay. I want to work on that. So we have the two edge detection, we have the info overlay. Do we have stuff actually left over from our previous tasks? Mean we can continue working on the overlay and the edge detection with using these bugs on the same either desk tasks, or we can restart. I think we'll probably continue. What else? That's it for now. It's weird. When I went outside with the phone and tried to take a picture on landscape mode, it didn't actually switch properly. Maybe I'll test it for a second without the computer, see if there's any difference. Shouldn't be, but you never know. Because I took the phone outside and I've tried it, and I wanted to take a picture to add pictures to the testing. But whenever I rotated it into landscape mode, the screen kept like half size. I didn't have the capture button, I didn't have a lot of things. But of course, it's one of those elusive tests, elusive issues that when you try to test it, it doesn't seem like an issue. Okay. Since I disconnected, we lost the screens. Let's redeploy. Okay. So let's take these and let AI start working on them. So for the info overlay, do I actually need all of those files? I have no idea. I think I don't need. I'm gonna remove some of the files to reduce the context for AI. Camera app, camera info, main activity. Okay. So we're just gonna copy it. Info overlay renders on top of the zoom overlay and let it do its thing. Architect mode. Hopefully it should good. Start working on that. Edge detection. Let's start with this one because this sounds like an easier one. Okay, I gave this to AI. Let's take for now photos.google.com. Let's take some photos I've created in my phone just for the testing. Well, I didn't want this photo saved. No. Move to trash. It's got double too much. This is one other thing actually I'm wondering about. See these two photos? This was done in our app and this was done in the main photo app for the phone. So I'm not sure exactly. Well, there is something about the framing that's a bit different, but the image is not as vibrant. I think it's some processing by the camera app. Yeah, so this reminds me of how you see professional photo people just so either is just asking for more files. I'm gonna confirm for now so it can. The other one is asking to edit the files, the info overlay. So when you see professional photographers, they usually have more grayish photos, either when they use like the advanced formats like log format, or just because they take the white balance. It's not the white balance. You can do it with just reducing the EV down. So they prefer a bit of a darker image because they can brighten the highlights and it looks awesome. I know I'm probably talking the wrong terminology on some of this because I always like take up the shadows, which to me seems like the highlights, but they call the shadows, but then you get a brighter image. I'm still new to this, which is funny that I chose to actually make a photo app when I don't understand all of the photo terminologies and all of the photo processes. But sometimes it's best, sometimes it's easier to see issues from the perspective of a new person than from an experienced person. It's way easier for a new person to make things easier for other new people than it is for an experienced person to try to make things easier for new people, because it doesn't feel the same pains they do, because for him it's already easy. I wonder if this fixed lighting from Google would make it similar to the other photo. A little bit. I'm gonna save. Is it gonna save on the same one or create another one? So now, this does this look like the original or like the modified? Doesn't have the fixed lighting anymore. Looks a little bit better, but the camera one, it's interesting. Camera one looks a lot better. Not gonna lie. Not okay. My question is, do we use our image as a test or the other one? Not sure. I want this one as a test because going around flowers, trying to resync the flowers is important to me. This is interesting because we have like the fruits. Gonna save this one. Tried to show something here, but I'm no longer sure. This is a pretty bad picture. Do I have another? It's a different one. Let's take that one anyway, and let's take this one. Yeah, the focus is a bit around either flowers or the trees. I like the tree. Okay. So what are we gonna do with these images? We're gonna take them, delete some stuff that's unrelated. And I lost my train of thought. So we want to take these images and go and copy them. I look more this camera. We're gonna take these images. Gonna go to our project. Project. Almost get stuck. Only done. Go to our project. Oh, we're not gonna go into our project. Okay. Forgot this one. Where did we put the images here? Let's do git status. Should probably do some cleanup here. What's going on? Ada conf. Did I just delete it? Git ada conf call. It the scripts. So we got these two scripts. I'm not sure why they're not saved. Actually, just one of them. Oh, it's the GPU stuff. Git add minus cleanup scripts. GPU. Status, skip this. What are these? ATS stuff. Timestamp, device, local emulator. I think this is something we've touched within. When we went inside Android Studio, we changed a couple of things for the phones. Yes, phone emulator, phones config. What else? We have so log files. I don't need those at the moment. Can delete those. No hop. It's just a file. Here are the assets. Okay. What's in idea coding styles? I don't know what this is. I think this is all related to the Android Studio. Probably belongs to some plugin I've added or something. Not super interested in this at the moment. What I did care about is the app source debug assets. So this is where we are putting our images. This is the thing that actually interested me, because I wanted to copy the new images over here. We also have it in the README, but to put the assets now. So, yeah. How to add test images. Create the directory, drop the images into that folder, redeploy showcase app. Okay, let's do that. So, I actually want to move all the downloads. What did we have them as? JPEG into that directory we just decided about. Just discovered or talked about. Not sure what's going on, by the way, with why Ubuntu files, which is like the most basic thing, the most basic program, just explore files in your computer, keeps crashing on me. And it's not only that, it's worse. Within any software where I do file open, it gets stuck. And sometimes I can recover it with Windows up or Commander Super up, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it's stuck, and sometimes it crashes the entire app. That's like a next task for me that's unrelated to development. Like, what's going on? It's relatively clean new install. So it's really frustrating. There's so many small things. Like, I'm not even trusting that OBS is still running and we're streaming and recording and everything is working. Because why did it crash before? Just when I show the app, just when I share the phone app on the second screen and rotate it around, it crashes everything. And I had one of the streaming channels didn't work. I don't know, deleted everything, started it again. These things. Okay, so where were we? We moved the files around. Let's redeploy the showcase app. What do we have for now? For now, actually, Ada finished both tasks, so we can deploy those as well. Um, so our last thing was around, so the info overlay not being on top of the zoom and the edge detection not working in portrait mode, but does work on landscape mode. So let's also deploy the default, and maybe we'll deploy default to the phone. We'll start testing. So why did I deploy showcase? I deployed showcase to actually test the new files. Let's see if we can see anything from the new files. Ah, so much green. This is way too much. Way too much. I don't know. What do I do with this? Oh, forgot one more thing. Start the virtual camera, because that allows me to see it in the emulator. Also, the thing wants to crash. I don't know why we got only one image that was added to the test.